Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be looking at a rather controversial topic, religion and taxes. Now before I begin, this is not an attack on any religious institution. I'm just looking at why some basically religious institutions don't pay taxes in all the 50 states. It's something that has always fascinated me. I never knew exactly why like businesses are supposed to pay taxes, but religious institutions, are exempt from taxes. So I'm just gonna look real quick to see why that's the case. So before I begin, please like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So basically, religious institutions in America don't pay taxes. So, why is that the case? So, I found this article. It's on Tax Defense Network, and it says that the IRS doesn't tax churches because they consider them the same as other charities. So, they don't tax charities and they consider churches, religious institutions, as a charity. This is because the churches support their communities in numerous ways. Many provide social services like shelters, food pantries, and they provide assistance for low income families, including after school programs. So, really, that's the main reason they, that churches don't pay taxes. They are considered in the same category as charities. So there was this other article that was looking at the pros and the cons. Should they remain exempt? This is an article from the procon.org. And the pros were exempting churches from taxation is constitutional and maintains a long American tradition. So it's been there throughout that it's an American tradition. Churches should not be paying taxes. So trying to tax them just goes against like the very foundation of it. So that's the pro in this case why they don't pay taxes. Now the con is exempting churches from taxation is unconstitutional. Like it makes no sense why everybody else has to pay taxes, but these churches are exempt. So that means that, I don't know, let's say you're an unbeliever, you're an atheist, you have to pay taxes, but religious institutions don't have to. So that's the con in that case. So there was another case that they were bringing up. The second pro was exempting churches from taxation contributes to the public good. And that goes back to the previous reason that they offer social services to people in need, like soup kitchens, homeless shelters, after school programs for poor families, and they assist victims of DV. I don't want to say the word because of YouTube terms and conditions. So uh, that's why they are recommending exempting these institutions. Now, another con is exempting churches from taxation forces taxpayers to subsidize religion while costing the government billions in tax revenue. The government, by not taxing churches, are losing enormous amount of revenue that they would have been getting from, the property taxes and all these things that, like, for example, a normal business is taxed a lot. So by government not taxing this, they're losing revenue in that. So that's the con. And also other people have to, like I said, there's no free lunch. So uh, if they don't pay taxes, other people have to foot the bill. So in this case, The other religious, the other people, even non-believers, have to pay the taxes that should have been paid by the church and religious institutions. Now, the third pro was most churches follow the rules and would struggle to exist without tax exemption. The IRS should enforce the rules rather than eliminating the tax exemption wholesale. So, what are the rules? The rules were the churches don't pay taxes, and the terms are do not involve yourself in politics. So, most churches do actually follow the rules. So, and they are not earning that much. Surprisingly, the small churches, maybe you are used to the big mega churches, but normal churches, according to this survey that was done by the Hartford Institute, found that the median income for churches was 120,000, down from 150 in 2010. However, 46% of churches have an annual revenues of 100,000 or less. So that's almost half the churches are getting less than $100,000 per year. So if you tax them, it's gonna be overburden. It's gonna be too much weight for them to carry. So they might, go out of business in quotes. They won't be able to maintain the church. They won't be able to do the other activities, like helping and with food pantries and other things. So that's the reason. Of course, it's a survey, so you don't know if they really are the actual figures, that the income that they gave here, that almost less than half are getting less than $100,000 in a year. Maybe it's just what they said, but you never know. So the third con was too many churches have taken advantage of tax exemption and by being politically active and being sham religions or using tax exemption to line the pockets of extravagantly wealthy faith leaders. That is very true. We've seen that case with, especially with the mega churches, where they have the church, they're getting millions of dollars in revenues through collections and donations from their church members, and the leaders of the church are living in mansions, they are having private jets and others. And just for the sake of it, let's look at one of those mega church leaders. We're not gonna use a very scientific thing, but celebrity net worth for Joel Austin at the time of recording is showing is worth $100 million. He's a very famous televangelist, mostly for prosperity gospel, and he's worth that much, $100 million. Another one, just to balance the scale, is a Creflo Dollar, worth over 30 million. We don't know how accurate the figures are, but it's celebrity net worth, so we don't know how they calculate it. You cannot really trust everything you see on the internet, but what we know for sure is they're earning millions of dollars, and they are involved sometimes in very crazy scandals. Like I remember there was one where they were urging the church congregation to contribute for their for their private jet. So there are pros and cons in this case. I don't know what side you fall on. Should churches be taxed or not? Should they remain exempt? You can let me know in the comments. This is not a personal attack or anything. I was just looking at the reasons. And the main reasons is they are considered like a charity because they are supposed to be doing good social services like shelters and other things. That's why they are not taxed. So that was just a quick look at the reasons. And please like and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe.